So, what happens when the world, really wants you to change? Today, we're diving into personal integrity and that quiet courage it takes to hold on to your core values no matter what kind of pressure you're under. Let's get right into it. I want to start with a question, just for you to think about as we go. What part of yourself do you hope never changes? I mean, for a lot of people, it's their drive or maybe their sense of humor. But for the idea we're exploring today, that unchangeable core is something way simpler, but also really profound. It's kindness. And this brings us to this amazing metaphor that's really at the heart of this whole explainer. I want you to picture a tree in a crazy storm. Its branches are bending, they're swaying all over the place, but they don't break. And the secret? Well, it's the roots, right? They're anchored deep and strong in the ground. In this picture, we are the tree. And that wind, that's all the pressures and expectations the world throws at us. And those roots, well, that's our core self. That's the part of us we decide we're never going to let go of. So where does that kind of unshakable strength even come from? Well, you got to start at the beginning. That brings us to our first section, harking back to our roots, which is really where our resilience begins. Okay, so what does hark back even mean? It's really just about going back to our starting point. For us, it's about reconnecting with those core experiences and the values that made us who we are. It's this idea that our past isn't just some story we tell, it's the actual soil that our roots are planted in. I love this quote because it just says it perfectly. The past isn't some loud, demanding thing. It's more like this quiet, steady influence on our choices, on our character. It's always there, just waiting for us to slow down and actually listen to what it's trying to tell us about who we really are. But what happens when one of those core values, one of our deepest roots, is challenged head-on by the world? This leads us to our next section, which explores what our source material calls the dilemma of kindness. And here it is, the conflict laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have this core value, kindness, and on the other, what the world tells you is the consequence. We're often told that kindness just makes you a pushover, and we've all heard it a million times, right? Nice guys finish last. This is the wind I was talking about, really pushing against our tree. So, how are we supposed to respond to that pressure? Do we change who we are just to get ahead? Well, the philosophy here suggests a much more powerful path. It's all about weathering that storm by taking a firm, personal stand for who you are. And that stand? It starts with this incredibly simple but really profound statement. So, in response to the whole nice guys finish last thing, the answer is just, I am okay with that. And look, this isn't giving up. This is a declaration. It's the conscious choice to be true to yourself no matter what the outcome is. And why would you make that choice? Because for some of us, kindness isn't just something you do. It's a fundamental part of your identity. As the source says, if I am not nice, I lose a big part of who I am. So the real loss isn't finishing last, it's losing yourself somewhere along the way. And this all leads to this incredibly powerful statement of self-worth. I am not going to scrub my personality away for any extrinsic reason. Extrinsic just means for any outside reward, status, other people's approval, or winning at all costs. The message here is crystal clear. Your core character is way more valuable than any prize the world offers you in exchange for it. Now, this is a fantastic conviction to have, but let's be real, it is not always easy to stick to. So how do we actually maintain it? How do we keep our roots strong when that storm is really blowing hard? Our final section offers some really practical wisdom. How to stand strong by nourishing your roots. The advice really breaks down into two beautifully simple steps. First up, focus on yourself. The source suggests doing something physical, like a workout. And this isn't about how you look. It's about building that self-appreciation from the inside out. When you feel physically strong, it just reinforces your mental and emotional strength. And step two, stay centered. Find a timeless motto that can act as your personal compass. And what is that timeless motto? Well, it's one we all know. Treat others as you want to be treated. Yeah, I know, it might sound like a cliche, but it's timeless for a reason. In those moments of doubt, when you feel that pressure to compromise who you are, this simple rule becomes your anchor. It just guides you right back to your core. And that brings us right back to where we started, back to our roots and that quiet voice of our past. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. If you took a moment right now to really truly listen, if your past cleared its throat, what would you hear? What core part of you is it reminding you to never, ever let go of?